Okay, let's start this with a proper happy birthday sing, shall we? All right. So wherever you are, get a glass of water, honey, tea, whatever you need for your best singing voice. And let's make this happen for Sassy, okay? 30 years old after almost dying. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sassy. Happy birthday to you and many more. Okay, awesome. I am supposed to be live on YouTube as well as locals and Rumble. If you are not familiar, you just follow the Off British Living channel, you're not familiar with the news stuff that I do, we have a video of Sassy's birthday party Saturday with the cake we made her posted, and she's blowing out candles and stuff. AliceTomorrow.locals.com. And I do news content too over there. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, because I used to be a TV reporter, this is our Off British Living channel. As you can see, Sassy decided to roll and take a nap after I had worked very diligently to clean her for this appearance, this live appearance. And so I'm going to use one of her birthday presents to clean her off. This is a curry comb. If you're not familiar, this is the first thing you usually start with when you brush a horse. And we'll just do a quick lesson here. You do circles, but you don't usually use it on their mane, but I'm going to have to because I didn't bring the brush. This is one of her birthday presents. And in case you wonder how to brush a horse, she really wants to eat the grass right now. But you do, see this? And then you do circles like that. No, Sassy, no. Okay. So you do this. And then see all the hair? See all the hair that it gets? So she's shedding out her winter coat. And then you usually follow up with a brush. Now, the reason I figured I would show you the shavings on her body, if you can see the shavings on her body kind of right there. She was taking a nap in her stall. And she definitely takes more naps nowadays. I would say Sassy is, well, she's still here. A lot of people would say 30 is kind of, I don't think it's miraculously old because I know horses that are older than that. But a lot of horses do not make it to 30. But she does take a lot more naps. Like when my grandmom was in her early 90s, she'd get up pretty early, like Sassy's up pretty early in the morning, but then she would nap by like 10 a.m. That's definitely Sassy, okay? You want to see what else Sassy got for her birthday? She got a hoof pick right here. She got a new hoof pick because her old hoof pick was falling apart. If you're not familiar with a hoof pick, what it is you pick up their hoof, which I'm not going to show you right now because it would just be too much. And then you pick, they've got some grooves in their foot called a frog. And you like pick out the stones and dirt and stuff, and then you brush out the dirt. So that's what you got. You want to tell everybody which one do you like better, this or the curry comb? Pick. Which do you like better? Curry comb. Yeah, definitely the curry comb because it's like getting a massage. So, and then the other thing I got her for her birthday, these are hemp protein super snacks, but honestly, she doesn't like them. So I give them to the dog now, but I think they're probably the healthiest horse treats that are on the market right now. If you're buying horse treats, let's try. This is what they look like. You can break off little pieces like this, okay? And she sort of eats them. She's not. Oh, maybe she kind of let's see. You like it? Maybe she's deciding she's warming up to them. Nope. No, she doesn't like them. But our dog will eat them. Our dog will totally eat them. So, and then the other horse, Megan, our crazy horse, she'll eat them. So I also got her a bag of carrots. You'll see this is going to be her favorite. Right, Sassy? Yeah. Now, Sassy is on a low sugar diet because she may or may not have had a metabolic issue a year ago, which could have caused the problem that led to her almost dying. She had blood work done, and it was, depending on who you asked, it either said she had a metabolic issue, kind of like maybe a little like diabetes, I guess, but harder to digest sugars, basically. And then other vets said, no, that wasn't it. In fact, the drug company that makes this pill that a lot of people give their horses for equine metabolic disorder or Cushing's, which humans are diagnosed with often. The pill that they're given for this, which may or may not really do anything. I think that's another thing I've researched. I'm not quite sold on it. Okay. But anyway, that's what they give horses who have Cushing's. And the veterinarian for that drug company read Sassy's blood work and said that she didn't have it. But then one of our veterinarians said she did, looking at the blood work. So I don't know. Anyway, she's not on the pill. She was for a little bit, but I wasn't convinced that it was doing what it was saying it was doing. And I also wasn't convinced she had that issue. So I stopped the pill. She also was on a significant amount of pain meds for a while, and she's on no pain meds anymore. And she hasn't been on pain meds for almost a year. She basically, what we called foundered. This was the winter of 21 to 22. And we don't totally know if that's exactly what happened, but she was having some kind of laminitic issue, we think. Okay. And laminitis is kind of the same thing as foundering. It basically, it's like pain and inflammation around their hoof. I'm not going to get into all the anatomy of it, but you can look it up if you want. And of course, any pain in a horse's hoof is fatal, really, in a lot of ways, because they have to stand up, right? So if a horse can't stand up, there's not really, it's not like a dog where you can kind of put him in a bed or carry him around to go to the bathroom or anything like that. And she was so bad off that she was actually pooping while lying down. And that was when I was like, okay, this is bad, because Sassy is a very clean horse. Unlike many horses who will poop where they eat, Sassy always goes to the bathroom in the same corner of her stall. She's very meticulous about keeping everything that she doesn't want around her food, or she wants to lie down. She doesn't lay in her poop like other animals. She's near human in that regard, maybe even more hygienic than some humans. And so she pooping and lying down, I knew that was a bad sign, because she would not like that. She's very OCD about that kind of thing. Now, here's what I learned. Okay. Number one, if you're wondering if my horse has this kind of issue and I don't quite know what's going on, because we had lots of tests done, thousands of dollars worth of testing and veterinarian opinions and stuff, and no one really could figure out what was going on with her. It's possible that that she had been trimmed improperly for a while, and maybe she was just having, she had very thin soles, if you can imagine, if somebody cut your fingernails all the way down to the quick, and you're just pounding your finger into a typewriter or something, after a while, it may really hurt. And so she just needed her feet to be able to her hooves grow out a little bit. That could have been it. Maybe she did have some kind of metabolic issue. We don't really know. All we know is, here's what I did that saved her life. Okay. I got as many opinions as I felt like I wanted, because she's my horse from when I was 11 years old. I was 11 when she was born. I was 10 when her mom, who we owned at the time, when we artificially inseminated her. And I watched that. Okay. I saw the glove go all the way up to the vet's elbow. I watched the whole thing. I have very few memories, very vivid memories of when I was really young. And that's one of them I will never forget. But obviously she's been with me more than most people I know. And so I was going to do everything I could to save her, but nobody really knew what was wrong with her. They all had different opinions. And, I never really got to the bottom of it. They never really got to the bottom of it. So finally one day I thought, the last vet said, this horse ain't going to make it, and actually he couldn't believe that I had not put her down yet, because she was in so much pain. And I had come back from a trip. Basically, we had gone over Christmas, which I was very nervous to do. Actually, we'd gone to the East Coast to visit family, had 2 great horse sitters here. But what our protocol had been with her was to keep her in her stall all day, basically, and only let her out a little bit, because we thought we were protecting her. We thought we were keeping her safe, and letting her lie down and everything. And I came back from the trip and she was really bad off. Because I think this is what we did wrong. And like I said, this last veterinarian who came out was like, this horse is not going to ever walk normally again. And honestly, she shouldn't even be alive right now. You should have put her down a long time ago, basically. I opened her stall door and I said, all right, Sassy, this is your last weekend, because it was a Friday and we weren't going to put her down over the weekend because we couldn't get anybody out. So I was like, this is your last day, I guess, or your last weekend. So go enjoy it. I opened her stall door and I was like, go be a horse, do whatever you want. It's heartbreaking for me, but I want you to go enjoy your last few days. And I woke up the next day and she was out walking around. And then the next day she was rolling in the snow and she was even running. And I was incredulous. I couldn't believe it. And what I think was happening was we were, in an effort to protect her, we were locking her in her stall, and it was very cold. It was like minus, I don't know, with wind chill, I think it was getting into like -5-ish territory. It was definitely in single digits without wind chill. And I think she was having arthritic issues where she was like lying down, and it would be like a mid-90s person or something, and you make them sit in bed all day, and then the only time you watch them walk is like right after they get out, and you're like, oh, that's terrible. Well, they're not getting any regular exercise or moving around. You know, what do you expect? And I think we were making things worse on her by not letting her just go be a horse. So I guess my big picture lesson was you got to balance wanting to, you know, protect an animal with just letting them live their life and being who they are. And maybe that's a lesson for humans in general, is that you can really do damage by thinking you're loving somebody, okay? Coddling them and protecting them. And what I learned with Sassy is that she just needed to be a horse. And when she was allowed to go walk around, she kind of knew her limits. She did a lot better. Okay. Yeah, Sassy wants to show off, but Mama won't let her go. Yeah, she wants to. You know what? Honestly, she wants to eat the grass. And I'm not, well, first off, I want you to be able to see her. But secondly, she's not supposed to be eating a lot of grass because it's high sugar. Like I said, I'm not really sure that was the problem, but the spring grasses are very high in sugar. So the lawn grass, that's not normal horse grass anyway, because we're like in the straight up lawn. Like the house is right behind my camera. So on the deck, like Sassy lives in the pasture, you know, can you kind of see the pasture right here? And this is her barn over my shoulder here, right? Okay, right here. Am I doing this right? Yeah, that's her barn. So I don't want her to eat like the lawn grass. It'd be like letting your horse go on a golf course or something and letting him eat that. It's not normal for a horse to eat that kind of grass. Okay. She's talking to her friend, Megan. Happy birthday, Sassy. Okay. Sassy on the naps. Gold, more videos, please. I will. Oh, twos are gold. Like how to's, you mean? Happy birthday, beautiful Sassy. I'll read her all your comments, or I'll try to get to as many as possible. That Sassy is some horse. She sure is. Okay, so why is Sassy so special? Well, first, I am going to promote my wine, all right? If you aren't familiar, don't forget to go to AllisonWinePromo.com. Right, Sassy? Sassy loves a good Malbec. High-altitude Malbecs from Argentina. What do you think about them? Yes, she's actually really mad I'm telling you about them because she doesn't want to run out of her supply. So leave her a few cases for her next birthday because we know she's going to make it to 31. Anyway, so she says go get to AllisonWinePromo.com, help fund her carrots for the upcoming year, and get 50% off some amazing wine and 50% off shipping. Can't get them at the grocery store. High altitude, natural fermentation, family farmed, one from the oldest vineyard in Argentina. Go get yourself some. Okay. So thanks for going to AllisonWinePromo.com. You can also check out my coffee sponsor at twinenginecoffee.com/Allison, USDA certified organic high roast from Nicaragua. Grown, harvested, and roasted all on site. Same place. Small family operation. Very pro free speech. You're into that. Great coffees. I drink the espresso every morning. Okay. Let's go over to locals. I'm going to, don't forget again, AllisonMorrow.locals.com, okay, where you can actually like participate with Sassy on lots of other stuff. Does she have a mane and hoof spa appointment booked yet? We did do spa day yesterday. Maybe hard to tell because like I said, she took a nap, rolled in some shavings. It's hard to keep a horse clean in spring because there's so much mud. And then I hope we're live on locals. Are we live on locals? I hope we're there. Somebody tell me if we're not. Okay, we should be Rumble too. I'm going to go over to read her some of the comments too, because there were a lot of happy birthdays that came in. Happy birthday, Sassy, from Christina or Christine Chin. And then we have Wells Mortensen also saying happy birthday, which I'm going to read the poem that you wrote her at the end. So stand by for that. DMC wants to know, what's the most helpful thing Sassy has ever done for you? Okay, I'm so glad somebody asked that question because I talk about this. I've talked about this. What would I call it? Personal growth protocol, which it's not really protocol a lot, because as a former journalist, people ask me a lot, what would you do to fix the news industry, or what would you do to increase better journalism in today's world? And what I often say is I would encourage or force my employees to spend time in silence every day, and in an effort to become more self-aware. Because I think one of the biggest issues is that, you can't fix stupid, in the sense that if you have a bunch of corrupt journalists, I mean, you just got to fire them. But for the people that are actually trying to do what's right, I think often they're just not encouraged to be introspective and self-aware of their own biases, and then encouraged to seek out alternative viewpoints and to ask questions that the world says are scary to ask. You have to be very, I think, I don't want to, if the word's not confident, you have to, know yourself well enough before you can really understand other people. If you're running around with, a bunch of issues like that you just get triggered by all the time, then you're never going to be able to listen and really hear another human being, or sort through the propaganda that's around us. So the best thing that Sassy ever gave me or did for me was, just like my dog I've talked about, Chaka, who died a couple years ago. They're relationships where you don't say anything, and you can go on a trail ride, or like with my dog, we went hiking a lot, and you can be quiet and just just be present, I guess. Not be worrying about your schedule or all these other things. They give you the opportunity. This is what I love about, I think, animals in general, but like Sassy, the amount of trail riding that we've done in just complete silence. I mean, tens of hours of just time in silence, where I could listen to God. I could just be present with the environment around me. And I think personally, once you start to become comfortable with silence and you don't need a lot of noise around, then I think that it helps sort through the noise. But I think a lot of us are really scared of silence and quiet, in part because I think, I don't know, that we're often, like, especially in today's age, I think we're just inundated with devices and stuff that just keeps us distracted. So I think it's harder than maybe our grandparents' generation, but also, you start to realize how many thoughts you have coming through, and stuff that comes up, and you're like, oh, that's who I really am. That's who I really am. And so being quiet, it's a real practice. And I think, once you get comfortable, once you start getting comfortable with silence, then I think it's much easier to start sorting through the noise. So that's the best thing I think Sassy ever gave me, was just opportunities to be quiet. And, hiking with my dog, hiking, I'm a reporter. So, she wants a carrot. Hang on. Here, show everybody. Okay. Don't say I never gave you anything, Sassy. So hiking with my dog, like, I'm a reporter, so I always go to worst case scenario. So I don't like being on the trails totally alone. So I liked having a dog for security reasons too. But like the other day, we don't have many neighbors out here, but I saw one of my neighbor's grandkids' bikes on the side of the dirt road that we live on. And most people would probably go, oh, she probably got sick of riding her bike or something, or she just left it here. But my mind was like, she got abducted. Should I call the police? That's what I first think of, because that's the life I lived as a TV reporter. Anyway, she didn't get abducted. She just dropped her bike. She didn't want to ride anymore. So long story short, that's the best thing Sassy gave me. And I think any of us, really, people can do it too. The ability to just sit with someone else and not say anything at all. I mean, how often do we do that? And see that as a relationship? Just be quiet. It's a real gift. I think it needs to be practiced. I don't think it's just something. I mean, some people are probably better at it than others, but I'm not naturally good at being quiet, obviously. So that's the best thing. So okay, let me go down to, I'm gonna read the poem. I think, hang on, I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to both the ride and the rider. May you and your family plus ponytails be happy. I'm trying to find, I know it's here somewhere. Okay. What is the cake you feed Sassy, or is that for you and the show producers? Because I made her a cake. Okay, most years I've made Sassy a carrot cake. This year I made just a vanilla cake. It was gluten-free because our friends who came over with their kids, who are the producer, Lily and Jack, their friends, they're gluten-free. They're allergic to gluten. So it was a gluten-free vanilla cake with buttercream frosting. I made buttercream frosting. And Sassy likes frosting, but she doesn't really like the cake. Growing up, probably this is going to sound crazy to you, but Sassy used to really like combos. You know, those things, they're like terrible for you. They're pretzel on the outside and then like fake nacho cheese on the inside. When we were kids, we used to go out to the barn, and the first thing we did when we were dropped off from school was we go to 7-Eleven. And yes, I am the daughter of 2 doctors, but this is still what I did. And my dad's totally into nutrition now, but I don't think they cared at all back when we were kids. So we would like go to 7-Eleven, we get Slurpees, and we would get combos, and then we would feed the horses like everything that we got. And so yeah, that's Sassy's Sassy's original diet. Maybe that's why she had problems as an older horse. But hey, she's still here at 30. Why am I telling you this? Oh, yeah, because Sassy will eat like sugary stuff, and you could dump a Coke in her mouth and she would totally drink it. Beer, this is another thing. Horses love beer. I think because, you know, the hops and like barley and stuff that might be in it. So horses like beer, so she would drink beer, which I actually think is probably not that bad. I mean, don't give them a ton alcohol, but I actually think like a few sips of a beer for a horse, like big deal. I'm trying to think of what else. Anyway, so if you want to make a horse a cake, though, there's plenty of recipes online for cakes that actually like a horse might like. Molasses and stuff like that. Like I said, Sassy's on a low sugar diet, so I didn't really, this year I'm kind of like, nah, whatever. I'm gonna just make one that we like. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I want to go to a couple of my friends from growing up put comments on my Facebook post about what they remember. So Anna said, I have a few memories of Sassy. Remember, I was 11. I'm 41 now. I was 11 when she was born. So my friends, don't you like how you're seeing Sassy's best side right there? Okay. I have a few memories of Sassy. The day she was born, of course, because a lot of my friends got to see her like right after she was born. We're all young kids playing with a baby horse. What's more fun than that? Okay, the day she was born, of course. I also remember the day you decided to sit on her for the first time. I held her, hold her like this, while Mimi fed her, that was my best friend at the barn, fed her an endless supply of peppermints. I think she really loved it. I also remember putting my puppy Mingo on her back while Shayna was tacking her up at nationals. I have a picture somewhere of it, just saw it the other day. He just sat there as she led her down to the arena. Happy 30th birthday to you, Sassafras. Love you always. That's funny. I need to see that picture. Yeah, so Sassy Nationals, she was, big time. Sassy went to Nationals at 3 years old, and she killed it. She did really well. But then, you know what? When I turned 18, I decided I didn't want to show anymore, and Sassy became a trail horse. Christy says, she is the best girl. Happy birthday, Sassy. I, of course, will always remember you and Mimi taking her into the bathroom at the local park, which we did do. We tried fitting a baby. She was young. She was small. And we're like, let's see if we can take her to the bathroom. So we definitely did take her to the bathroom at the local park. I also remember breaking her, which is, basically the getting on her for the first time, learning how to ride. Remember breaking her by having me and others hold her while you laid over her back. I remember trail rides with you and her first show. So many great memories. Kristen, OMG, love that you still have her. I miss Jack so much. That was her horse. Happy birthday, Sassafras. I remember, Jessica says, I remember being there with the vet for Socialite's insemination. That's Sassy's mom, Socialite. And insemination is, it's It's the birds and the bees, but when two people are not actually there together, if you're not familiar with the term. So yeah, we ordered Sassy's dad online. Well, not online. I mean, we knew the people and stuff. I guess there wasn't an online back then. Or maybe there was. It was 93 was when she was born. But he came in a cooler, and then the vet comes out and does the deed. And then Sassy was born. I think horses, it's an 11-month gestation period. So she was born 11 months later. So a lot of people I got to skip school for that. And so did some of my friends. So we watched it. Yeah, nightmares. Okay, so I guess you could say I have known Sassy since before she was conceived. I was there within 48 hours of her birth, watched her play as a foal. It brings my heart so much happiness and warmth to see her still with you today. Love you, Sass. Amanda says, I'm trying to think of Sassy memories, and instead I keep picturing bareback shenanigans on the pony. Sammy jumping mulch piles in the front ring. Yeah, Sammy was the devil pony that I had for a little while. He bucked me off so many times. Hackney pony. Got to watch out for those guys. They got a lot of energy. But I remember visiting Sassy with you when she was first born. She was so sweet and adorable, all ears with big eyes, and her white blaze looked so cute on her little face. I think she might be the luckiest horse ever. So glad you two have gotten to love each other for so long. I feel like the luckiest human. So she's very loved by everybody else. Shayna, love this so much. I remember taking care of all of you. What a beauty. Teddy sends his birthday wishes from Blythe, who adopted the dog that I fostered for a little bit. Angela says, happy birthday, beautiful mare. I remember when she was in her mama's belly, and I have a VHS of me playing with Sassy in her stall when she was but a wee filly. Also, my dad made a video of Rick driving her. That was our trainer. Driving her in, I believe, her first class. She's been one of the amazing OG Davis Stables horses I had the honor of knowing. And I definitely need a copy of that video. So, okay, a lot of good memories for Sassy. And then I am trying to find 30 years together, Wells Mortensen says on Locals. I know how old couples start to resemble each other. She's starting to look like you a bit. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I think that you mean my hair is awesome. My hair is full of volume, and I smell good. Okay. All right. I'm trying. I know that Wells, you wrote a poem, and I'm really trying hard to find it. But Sassy is not making it easy on me. Hang on. I'm trying to, where is this? Sassy, help me out here. Wells, can you repost in the Locals chat the poem that you wrote? And I will read it. Okay. Oh, it's no longer there. Oh no. Well, can you put it in? Put it back in the chat and I'll read it. Anyway, Shiraz. No, go for Malbec. Malbec is way better. Could drink all but the best of sailors and Marines under the table. Who is that? You or Sassy? Sassy, super healthy for an elderly wino. LOL, that's true. Sassy is a Morgan. What kind of horse is she? Jacob asked. Sassy's a Morgan. Morgans, I gotta read up a little bit again. It's been a while since I've read up on the history of Morgan horses, but they're like the American breed. They're like a Ford or a Chevy. And actually the analogy kind of works well because they're not known as the showiest or the fastest or the prettiest of the breeds. You know, a lot of the breeds have reputations, like thoroughbreds are the fast ones, or Arabians are like the, you know, Arabian Nights, you know, they like wear all the fancy costumes at shows and they prance around and stuff. Not that Morgans don't prance around and stuff, but Morgans were really known as workhorses, you know, for farms, and they're just sturdy. They're known as like sturdy American horses. And why did we start with Morgans? I don't know. It's just what everybody around us was riding. So I rode saddle seat, which is like, it is kind of the prancy stuff. You know, you put your hands up and you got, it's all about form. It's all about form, but a lot of politics too, which is why I said, forget this. I'm just going to trail ride from here on out. But anyway, but Morgans were kind of like, you know, they could pull the plow, and they're known also as just being very even keeled for the most part. Like they're not spooky. They're not, you know, quarter horses also like have a, you know, working horse reputation, but I think quarter horses are known as a little bit hardier, like just stockier. They could do I don't think Morgans weren't doing like cattle drives and stuff like that. Quarter horses have a reputation as being real hard workers. Morgans, I think, are too, but they're kind of known as being a little bit more fragile, but not as fragile as like an Arabian or a saddlebred or something like that. She wants to push off your mark and take center stage. Sassy does, yeah. She's teach real spirituality, which is unconditional love. Is that what you're saying about the animals? Sassy trying to see what Allison is looking at. LOLs. Yes, happy birthday, Sassy. Carrots. Awesome. So, let's see. I'm trying to go back to, where is it? How do I, okay. So, okay, do we have the poem? Leftist comment chat will only allow for 50 characters. Okay, let me go back to the comments. Okay, I want to read the poem before we go. All right, here we go. I got to refresh the page because this is a good poem. This is a good poem. Sassy, you ready for this one? Here we go. From Wells Mortensen. May your steed be role mode for your produce. I think maybe may your steed be a role model for your producer, both in saddle and barn bound, cleaning, feeding, caring wise. May your protector never run out of rounds by brass, by lead, by saltpeter. May his hand be steadfast and never missing the real threat, cementing his house, his castle. May his protection never come to be more than a practice, let alone a case. May you never run out of hay, sunny days or not. May your pastures never run out of dew, of rain, of bees, of peace. May you never run afoul, the compass never ever running out of directions, forever never running out of adventures for you, your lilies, your jacks, and your next ones. May you only find smile running your face against your better wishes, against sun rays, sunsets, giddied up, or past the barn closed and secured, laughing the day off whilst hoping steeds make it past the night, haze or not. May you find happiness, not merely content, wherever your favorite hooves take you, and may it be, it always turns out to be home, wherever you roam. May you and your family, plus ponytails, be happy. Least of all, thank you for caring for horses for those of us who no longer can. You see, we tend to adopt them a bit. Hope you or the party girl do not mind too much. Happy birthday to both the ride and the rider. Take her out, sweetie. She'd love that best, I think. And we will put Sassy, or Lily rides that. So, where's Sassy go next? Sassy is going to, well, she'll always be my best bud, but she's going to be Lily's, our daughter's. She's like ready to roll. She's like, I'm going to eat this grass, whether you like it or not. It's my birthday. Come on. Sassy's going to become our daughter's horse, for riding and stuff. She is the perfect kid's horse. She is so steady. She doesn't spook at anything. You could take out whatever. I mean, okay, it's not true. There's something she would run from. Probably if my husband's went out and started firing rounds around the pasture, she'd start running around. But you could stop her pretty easy. She's tried and true. She's going to be a great kid's horse. So I'm excited that she can be ridden again. And plus, our daughter weighs like 30 pounds. So it's perfect for her as an old lady. Hopefully, as Lily, our daughter, gets a little bit older, we'll be able to take her out on trails together. Hopefully, I will have a horse that is rideable. Megan right now is a little crazy. So I would probably not take her on the trails because I'd like to live. I'm not 30. I mean, I'm past 30, but I'd like to live another 30 years if possible and not die on a trail ride. So anyway, Sassy, shall we sign off? Okay. I think I'm looking at all the comments to make sure that I've seen everything. I really appreciate everybody, all the stories, all the happy birthdays. Chris Stapleton, he sang the song we used for our, he I think redid it, but our buddy sang it at our wedding, Tennessee Whiskey. But I found a song, I think he wrote about his dog. Maybe it was just the idea of a dog or like what a dog means, called, it's Maggie's Song, I think. Look it up. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's called Maggie's Song by Chris Stapleton. And, it's the life of a dog, basically the life and death of a dog. And it's a great song. It's a happy, upbeat song, but you get it if you've ever had like that dog that's always been by your side. Thanks, Sassy. Anyway, one of his last lines in it is like towards the end after, she dies, basically, he says, she's the best dog I've ever known and probably ever will. And that is truly Sassy. She's the best horse I've ever known, and she's the best I ever will. So thank you guys. Happy birthday, Sassy. We love you. Bye.